In the year 1908, the first MBA course was introduced by Harvard University, and ever since then, MBA has been an industry that was untouched and invincible. But lately, we've been a little worried about a new rage of AI, and we feel that AI might someday take over all these MBA programs. So in this video, we are going to talk about how AI and MBA can either go hand to hand, what courses or what streams under MBA are at a very high risk, and what should be your course of action with this. So welcome to AI versus MBA. My name is Amit Surana, and we are going to talk about which fields are unsafe. अब मेरे को पता है a lot of people are kind of worried because of this fever that has taken up, right? None of the industries are safe ever since AI was widespreadly introduced, right, to the common man. As long as it was in the hands of techies and it was in the hands of top institutes, it was safe. But now suddenly we feel that we are kind of under a threat because of AI. Now in this video, we're quickly going to talk about what exactly is the threat, how can this threat be avoided, what can you do so that you get safe, you become safe from here. Yeah. So let's talk about this. First, let's talk about the rise of AI in business management, right? How exactly AI comes into the picture. What exactly is the role of AI, right? Normally, a business management graduate is supposed to do these things, right? Learn about automation, analytics, customer interaction, and decision making. And AI can literally do each of these things using what? Using machine learning, which is ML, NLP, that's natural language processing, and RPA, that's robotic process automation and predictive analytics. By using these, it becomes so much more simple for anybody to get a job done that normally a 30 or a 40 LPA costing MBA grad would charge, right? And that's what a lot of people think, that right now at this stage MBA is at a huge threat and I may not get the job, I may not be placed in a good company, or you know how it goes, right? Is it really worth doing an MBA at this stage? Or which streams should I choose which are safe from it? Okay, so let's talk about that. What exactly makes a field unsafe? ऐसी क्या चीजें हैं जिसके कारण कोई फील्ड खतरे में हो, राइट? एन एमबीए फील्ड बीइंग इन डेंजर. So any job that requires high reliance on routine, कि ये रोज का काम है, यही सेम चीज रोज करनी है, यहां से डेटा उठा के यहां पर डालना है, यहां पे ये कंप्यूट करना है, इसका प्रेजेंटेशन बनाना है, इसके रिपोर्ट बनाने हैं, दिस रूटीन टास्क, राइट, that can easily be taken over by AI. Anything that's routine can definitely be taken over by any piece of technology. Next, any repetitive task also. Just like a routine task, a repetitive task can also be taken over. If you can train your AI model to do this particular task, then it will do it by itself without even giving a prompt every time. Number two, standardized decision making processes. Processes जहां पे based on some basic conditions आपको कुछ decision लेना होता है, right? If 1 2 3 4 5, अगर ये check points yes है तो this should be the outcome of it. अगर ये check points negative है, no है, तो this should be the outcome. If this is the combination of yes and no, then this should be the outcome. This is what a lot of MBA jobs had been doing for a long time now, but now these things can be easily taken over by any piece of technology again, right? Jahan pe basic conditions ho, if this is yes, then this, if this is no, then this, that would easily be taken over. Number three, any data driven activities that can easily be automated. Like I said, data yahan se uthao, idhar lagao, idhar compute karo, arrange karo, and then present it somewhere, make it look visually appealing, send it to your client, client approves. ये जो पूरा process है, that can easily be automated, and that could be a huge threat if that's the kind of job role that you're looking for. And the last one, limited or literally no need for emotional intelligence, because we know that any piece of technology, if there's something that it lacks, at least so far, if there's something that it lacks, that's emotional intelligence. And now we've seen that people have started using these chat bots instead of going for actual therapy. तो जो इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस वाला पार्ट है, दैट itself is slowly getting ruled out, right? And AI driven chatbot can do what a $100 $200 an hour costing therapist could do, right? Based on, again, what, based on the conditions. अगर client के ये symptoms हैं, तो then this is the outcome of that, and that's basically how technology works, right? Any lack of creativity, right? जहां पे कोई creativity की जरूरत नहीं है, there again AI might think a little, right? थोड़ा सा extra time ले लेगा सोचने के लिए, but that also we have seen getting thrown away by this recent fever that came up into people when they replicate studios that have been in the industry for a very long time, pioneers in those particular industry. For example, the Ghibli studio, or the Barbie, or say Disney Pixar type images. So what used to back then, what used to take days and days and efforts from multiple people and a set of highly skilled, highly expensive designers and animators, ये सब काम अब easily होने लग गया. So again, that again lies where, that if there is a template, your AI can replicate that template and it can give the result. But if wherever there is a little bit of creativity required, there maybe your AI model would have to think about it. Or any complex judgment, like I said, instead of direct पहला कंडीशन yes ये करना है, दूसरा कंडीशन yes ये करना है, apart from this, if there's a complex judgment, if there's a decision that needs to be taken, not only based on the conditions but also something called your gut feeling, right? Your instincts के basis पे, your human instincts, your basic instincts के basis पे जो judgment लिया जाता है, decision लिया जाता है, that's a particular place where AI has still not advanced. So these are the places where you might have a shot, but otherwise जो routine repetitive tasks है, डेटा को लेके, जितना भी बड़ा डेटा हो, आपसे जल्दी it can compute, आपसे जल्दी it can come to a conclusion based on the given data, right? And this is something that we can see with a freely available basic model of GPT. Yeah, imagine what a premium AI model could do that has been specifically trained to do this kind of a job, right? So we know that this is a proper threat. Yeah, but let's talk about in terms of AI's impact on MBA fields. Which MBA fields are under a lot of threat? Is it entrepreneurship? Is it finance? Is it operations, marketing, human resources, strategy and consulting, or business analytics? These are just a few off the top of my mind जो मैंने pick करे हैं, जो could be, we will discuss about which one of these are safe and which one of these are at risk. Okay, so hold on to your seats, because a lot of things that you might learn from this video could actually put up a negative thought in your mind कि MBA करना भी है या नहीं. So I'll answer that question towards the end. I'll let that intrigue build in you. Let's talk about which fields are at risk, because I want to quickly get this over with, है ना? जैसे like you rip off a band-aid एकदम झटाक से फटाफट से, we'll first start with the at risk fields. Now this is again based on a lot of research that has been done and a lot of case studies that have been done, right? The number one industry that is in a big trouble because of AI is finance. Now you'd be wondering, sir, finance कैसे sir? Finance का AI से क्या लेना देना है? Finance is more of numbers and computing and making decisions based on some patterns that we see. Not really, no, right? It can actually be kicked up by algorithmic trading, where any kind of fraud detection can be easily done just based on some basic prompts, easily can be identified. सम पैटर्न अंडरस्टैंडिंग उससे आसानी से पता चल जाता है. Credit risk assessment, again something that can be easily picked up by a bunch of condition and a few prompts, right? Automation of audits and financial reporting is again something based on the conditions. It can easily do the job what normally an MBA grad would do, right? So this is basically what has been taught to you, and that's something that an AI model can do for you. So finance is at a big risk. One of the basic examples of that is how Goldman Sachs gives you top 600 stocks only based on what its AI recommends, right? It's not even a an analyst बैठ के कर रहा है, नहीं. Maybe an analyst is sitting at the end of it to just verify if this data makes sense or if the model has run amok. Otherwise आपका जो AI है, a top firm like Goldman Sachs भी अगर incorporate कर चुका है and most of the recommendations come from the model, that basically means that your job is at risk. Yes. The number 2 high risk MBA field is operations. Again, this is something that was not sought after. A lot of people thought that maybe no, operations is safe. Not really. Why? Because a lot of what operations do, right? Anyone in the operations field, जो maximum amount of काम जो होता है उनका is again a lot of routine things, right? Like logistics, inventory control, demand forecasting. ये सारी चीजें उनके लिए is a routine thing, right? They look at the data, they replicate that, they look at the events, they replicate that, that's it. Now that's something that can easily be taken over by any AI model, and that's basically what has been happening here, right? सारी चीजें automate हो सकती हैं, right? There's hardly any requirement. Yeah, I'm talking about something as basic as AWS to all the way till logistics of containers altogether, right? Then we have AI driven supply chain management. If that's something that you wanted a career in supply chain management, then understand that this is also under a huge risk. Okay, so these are the ones under risk. Now sir, अब risk है तो क्या फिर मैं छोड़ दूं क्या? Should I not take up finance as my, because I really like finance, I like playing with numbers and data, and should I just give that up? Yeah, I am really into operations, I have a better way to make things efficient, I can run things efficiently, so should I give up that altogether and look out for a different career option? Hold on to your horses, wait, don't jump the gun right now. Abhi decision nahi lena hai, wait till the end of the video and then you can make that decision. Let's talk about a few MBA fields that are at a moderate risk, right? They are under that, they're still away from the radar but not too far. The number 1 again here is what? Marketing. Now this is something that you've seen, right? ये आपने देख लिया है. You've seen how the creative side of AI has been taken over. Yes, most of marketing is that and data, right? They run around data and coming up with creative suggestions, ideas, so that the product or the service could be easily marketed to the targeted people. Now this is something that we've seen already handed over to technology already, right? Back then जहाँ पे marketing हुआ करता था, where you had door-to-door marketing happening, or people putting up ads on TV and people putting up ads on newspaper. Now we've seen that has massively dropped and everything is now digital, right? The amount of money that is spent on the digital part of marketing is nowhere close to what physical marketing is taking over now, right? तो इतना ज़्यादा पैसा, इतना ज़्यादा funding, इतना ज़्यादा investment is doing, and time also has been spent on digital marketing. One of the basic ideas you can get is the reason why these influencers are now one of the richest people in the country, right? So digital marketing easily taken over. Yes, your AdWords, your basic SEO can be done by AI directly depending upon what your target audience is, and that's done, that's it, right? Customer segmentation, content generation is a joke right now. कोई भी piece of text अगर आप पढ़ते हो on LinkedIn or anywhere else, you can easily identify if that was taken up from an AI model, right? If that was generated from a piece of technology or someone actually put in their time and hard work to sit and write something creative. It's a very thin line. Yes, and a lot of content creators, and when I say content creators, I don't mean the ones who make reels. or dance on some random thing. I'm talking about the ones where content writing for say websites, content writing in terms of blogs, right? That in itself has become a huge threat. Okay, so I'm talking about copyrights. Next, chatbots and recommendation systems have made it so much more simple to eliminate this entire part of where there used to be a marketing associate who would take up your queries, who would take up your questions and help you out, right? Chatbots have been in the industry for a very long time now, but now you will see chatbots literally everywhere, right? The need for customer support, for example, has been completely eliminated just because there's a chatbot. Yes, कोई भी any I'll give you a simple example, right? Let's say you have an internet provider, आपका इंटरनेट नहीं चल रहा है, आप नॉर्मली क्या करते थे बैक देन? You would pick up your phone, you would call the helpline, you would wait on call for about 10-15 minutes, while away your time, only to hear them say, okay, your complaint has been registered. Within 24 hours, your service will be either restored or someone will come and do that. It was itne ke liye people paid people to work for it. They paid for the entire process of having a helpline, a toll-free number, all that crap, right? Everything is now completely eliminated just by a chatbot. All you have to do is say my service is not working right now. It will do a quick diagnostic. Again, condition based hai, ye agar nahi ho raha hai, so that's it, right? Problem gets identified. It either gets sorted in the back end immediately, या फिर वो complaint registration भी अपने आप हो जाता है. There's no need to pick up the phone and talk to any human at all, right? Chatbots have made that possible. And I gave you a simple example of chatbots being incorporated in therapies as well, right? So that's that. And the next one that's still at a moderate risk is human resources. The major reason why marketing and human resources are at a moderate risk is because यहाँ पे at least थोड़ा सा there's a requirement for human beings present there, right? Because nobody can understand humans better than humans, right? So with that mentality, these are still at a moderate risk, but we know that where they are moving towards the high risk area again. So under human resources, we again have recruitment being taken up by any again condition based, right? आपके resumes भी are quickly skimmed. The requirement and the eligibility is completely checked directly there, and the need for a person to sit, open their laptop, read the entire resume, then think, oh, will this person be suitable for me? Not required anymore, right? Performance management, again a joke right now. Employee engagement, again, right? Chatbots have made that possible. Yes. Resume screening, like I was talking about, and chatbot interviews also, right? So a lot of interviews are now being incorporated with chatbots, जहाँ पे there's no real person sitting in front of you, because again जितना ज़्यादा demand है, right, जितना ज़्यादा supply है, बहुत कम demand है. So let's say if 10,000 people apply for a job and they are in the need of only 100, that one person or that team of recruiters are not going to skim through all 10,000 resumes, right? What they'll do is they'll put through this filter, जहां पे 10,000 will cut down to be 1,000 में से again these chatbot interviews will make sure कि आपको जो 100 requirement है, you might have to deal with 150 people जहां पे आपको वो human touch की requirement है, right? Otherwise most of it has been taken over by some or the other piece of technology, right? I'm talking about basic, say LMS software, anything, right? कुछ भी है has been taken over by technology already. So this is again something that you might want to put a thought before taking this up as a career. Now the last thing, the safest ones. Now again, please mind you, safe in the current scenario. Today it is safe. We are not sure what is going to happen in the future because we're still not aware of most of the thing. Number one is business analytics. Now we would be wondering, sir, business analytics is all data driven, pure data driven? Not always, right? It's not always data driven because a lot of your data science, a lot of your guesstimates are done by human instincts also, your basic instincts also, right? Because sometimes the conditioning there could be flawed. अगर आप direct condition डाल देते तो it could be flawed. So that is where the need for a different perspective is required. That's why this is still a little safe. Next, we have strategy and consulting for the sole reason of it having strategy around it. Baki otherwise, most of it is again data driven only, right? जो data collect करते हैं वो data को पढ़ते हैं, conditions match होता है and recommendations are made immediately. But again, वहां पर भी क्या होता है? It's not always condition and solution. Condition, then there is a part where you have to put in your, because your end customers are humans, so आपको you have to be a human to be able to serve them better, right? To make sure उनकी क्या needs है आपको in reality पता चले. Yes. And the last one is again entrepreneurship, right? A lot of entrepreneurship is also again taken over. Jobs that or businesses that started off like ये सिर्फ हम ही कर सकते हैं, right, is no longer exclusive, right? You'll either find someone else doing it or a piece of technology that can already do it for you. So entrepreneurship may be, you have to figure out what creative part, how are you different from the others, and how are you different from any piece of technology that can do that particular part, whether it's a product or a service, or something that you have to figure out. Okay, so let's talk about how to future proof your MBA career. क्या करना चाहिए आपको ताकि this wave doesn't turn out to be a tsunami for you, right? How would you be able to ride this wave like a surfer does? So one thing is, future MBA graduates need to embrace AI as a partner and not a threat. You need to understand that ये कुछ नया नहीं है. This is nothing new, right? Back then, when, like, let me take a simple example of say news itself, right? Let's pick up news. So back then we used to have physical printing. Yes, before the printing press came, printing press in itself was a lot of threat for people who used to do the part manually, right? They would make dies, they would print papers manually like this. The printing press aaya, again that thing got eradicated, but things moved, people moved on, there were new job requirements there. Yes, हालांकि सेम जॉब रिक्वायरमेंट्स नहीं है. They didn't need anyone to sit and dip the dye in ink and stamp it on the paper, or they didn't require people to cut paper manually. They didn't require to do that, but again जरूरत थी, a different kind of requirement was there, right? Later, then again, when that became, say, in terms of radio, so then they needed people, right? The requirement for people to write down bunch and bunch of stuff went in vain. फिर वापस people got used to it, right? There were new jobs that were built around there. When television came into picture, new jobs were built around there. When internet came into picture, a lot of people thought that we are doomed, right? Again, people evolve, right? That's the best thing about humans, that we can evolve. The only thing is, those who can evolve quickly and who are ready for it, वो सर्वाइव कर लेते हैं. जो बाकी लोग ढीठ बन के बैठे रहते हैं कि नहीं मैं तो यही करूंगा, ऐसे ही करूंगा, they, if not today but sometime in the future, they might face their extinction, right? So आपका ये काम है that you don't become a, you should not become a boulder in a running river, right? आपको वो पत्थर बनना है जो पानी के हिसाब से अपने आप को मोल्ड कर ले, पानी के साथ बहना है तो बह भी जाए. समझ रहे हो, right? Focus on developing skills that not just AI, any piece of technology can't easily replicate. Now, this is very difficult. Yes, this is extremely difficult. How can I do something that a piece of technology cannot, right? Is it computation? No, technology is always better. Is it decision making? Maybe, where the human part comes into picture. उसके अलावा बाकी जो major decision making है, that can easily be done, right? If it is creative part, again, so the idea here is to learn skills that can make you survive through this wave, right? So what's the best way to survive through a wave? You either stay there and sink, or you try to turn yourself, right? You become part of the wave and then you ride on it. So what do you have to do? Get literate with AI and data, right? Whether it is AI tools, whether it is machine learning or NLP or RPA, all of these you have to get used to them. You have to learn new skills because that's the requirement of evolution, right? जब तब नए skills सीखने पड़ेंगे, आपको सीखना पड़ेगा, right? जब जब requirement होगी तब आपको सीखना पड़ेगा. If there is a technology that can take over, then there should be a person who can take control of that, right? I hope you are understanding it, right? Someone who can run that. तो ये चीज ऐसी है that has been happening from centuries, and we have seen technology take over basic jobs, but then again humans have always come up on top of that, right? So you, instead of going against it, go with it, learn these skills. Creative problem solving अपना build करो, problem solving that's not just basic computation or basic कंडीशन बेस्ड सॉल्विंग, बट जहां पे आपकी क्रिएटिविटी भी इन्वॉल्व हो. स्ट्रेटेजिक थिंकिंग इंप्रूव करो, अपना इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस इंप्रूव करो, दैट्स योर ईक्यू, इमोशनल क्वोशंट इंप्रूव करो अपना, सो दैट यू कैन इजीली connect to your clients, your customers, right? Then you have cross functional collaboration. Don't just stick to a single stream and become a master at it, because you never know if that one stream, for example, अगर आपने एक ही skill सीखी है, and if that skill gets easily replaced by a small piece of technology that's going to cost say 1/10 and be 10 times more efficient, so you will easily be replaced. So if you are someone who's good at multiple things, then replacing you would become a task there, right? And change management, get used to this, right? Change are inevitable, change is inevitable. It's not going to kill MBA altogether, but yes, there will be modifications. Any piece of technology that had come into picture in the past, there were modifications done. That does not mean that MBA would be no more, right? 1908 से लेके अब तक अगर चल रहा है तो आगे भी चलेगा. Just that the course, the curriculum, the way you perceive it, the teachers, everybody has to mold according to that, right? So my recommendation to you would be, don't be scared at this moment. Don't go ahead and read random blogs or random, not even blogs, these spots where people put up their opinions. वहां पे जाके पढ़ के आप घबराओ मत, डरो मत. There will be people who get fired, right? Layoffs normal है, ये अभी हो रहा है नहीं. It happened back then when Henry Ford had introduced the क्या बोलते हैं अपना वो, yeah, I'm not getting the word right now, right? So when there was automation introduced back then also people felt threatened, but the ones who rode that wave survived through it, right? So there will be new requirements. The only thing is you should be ready for it. So don't worry about it. Drop in any comments that you're scared about, that this is what I want to do in future in my MBA, and this is what it is making me do. क्या मेरा solution हो सकता है? Should I give up this dream, or should I take something else up? Drop it on the comments and I'll definitely make sure कि मैं personally आपको respond करूँ to help you get that peace of mind. ठीक है? So I hope this video was helpful for you. All the very best, folks. Cheers.